pleased to have on the show for the very first time, New York Met, Pete Alonso. How are you, Pete?
Hey, how we doing?
I'm doing.
I'm doing awesome.
I bet you are. I mean, what is it? You wake up today and you're a record holder, and I understand there's lots more to go, not only in your career but this season in itself. But I'm wondering if you could take a moment and pause and just take in what you have already accomplished in 2019.
Yeah, I mean, this year has just been such a really special and just wild ride, and I just feel like really blessed and humbled because this has just been exceeded all of my expectations. I mean, coming into spring training, I didn't know if I was going to be on the team opening day or not. Like, I didn't know if I was going to make the team, and I just wanted to seize every single opportunity I had, and I just wanted to play well as I could and do absolutely everything I can to help this team win and just be successful and stay here in the big leagues. And then as time went on, it's like, all right, well, I kept proving to myself that I could not only be like a big leaguer, but I could be a good one. And as time went on, it's through hard work and getting the hang of things. It's like, okay, like if I keep this up, I can make something really special happen, and that's what I'm trying to do.
So, who was your guy growing up? You grew up in Florida, right? The state of Florida.
Yeah, I grew up in Florida, but I mean, I grew up in Tampa specifically, and yeah, we had the Rays and everything. I would watch them if they were on TV, but I mean, I was just a big baseball guy. I mean, I consider myself kind of a baseball junkie. I spent more time playing it than watching, but I mean, growing up, I had some. I kind of went through certain stages of my life because, or specific guys I would watch. So when I was younger, I loved watching Mike Piazza. That's when I was, that's way back when I caught. So I just wanted to be a home run hitting, like awesome catcher, like Mike. And then, as I kind of got older and later on in my career, my main focus was on, Paul Konerko.
Huh.
Right first baseman, just absolute stud. And every once in a while, I catch myself watching 2005 White Sox World Series highlights, and all of them tend to be Paul Konerko. And then right now, I mean, still one of my. I mean, after Paul retired, I became a huge Paul Goldschmidt fan because he became he became the guy. He's a right first baseman, awesome defender, Gold Glover, runs the bases well. Not only hits for power, but hits for average, and he's such a complete player. And I mean, for me, Paul Goldschmidt's the standard of what a good first baseman should be. So I want to be like him.
Well, I mean, you are doing it right now, and the first guy you mentioned, Piazza, you passed on the all-time Mets home run single season list a couple of home runs ago. That had to be something else then. I mean, for you to say that you wanted to be Mike Piazza first and foremost, and here you are rounding the bases, putting him a notch down in the Mets record book, that had to be something.
Yeah, it's to me, it's like I put all my effort and thought into each individual day. Like, we got the Cubs today, we're facing Hendricks. So all my preparation is going to be based on the specific pitcher and catcher combination we got going on. And I feel like that, I mean, to me, I'm extremely humbled, but I'm really not going to truly understand until like after the year is over. Because right now it's like every single day I got a job to do. My job is to try and study the guy on the mound and try and do whatever I can to gain an edge and beat him tonight. Because I mean, we got the Cubs. We're in a tight race right now for the wild card, and I just want to do everything I can. But I feel like that it's really not going to truly like settle in until like the dust is settled after the year.
Pete Alonso here on the Rich Eisen Show, and I know you don't have a vast major league career to lean on in terms of perspective, but it seems to me that once Stroman was acquired and nobody else was sent out from that pitching staff, as was rumored, this team caught fire. And I'm wondering if emerging from the trade deadline, having added and not subtracted, was something that galvanized your clubhouse. Would you say that's accurate, Pete?
I mean, we've always had this self-belief the entire year. Whether, it's kind of hard to, for other people to see, especially when earlier in the year we weren't where we wanted to be. Like right now, we have a really great opportunity in front of us, and so many people wrote us off when we were 11 games under, and wasn't. 11 games under, people were kind of like, oh yeah, whatever. But then when we started surging and we started playing really well, I feel like that kind of forced the front office's hand, because it's like, you know what, these guys believe in themselves and we believe in them too. If they have this self-belief and drive to pull it together and keep grinding it out, then you know what, we're going to follow suit. So it's the same positive mental attitude we've had all year. It's been difficult for sure, especially earlier in the year, to keep that. But all of us in the clubhouse have been extremely persistent in our work. All the guys have. It's just I feel like the way that we've come back and answered the bell so far, that's just an attribute to kind of all the character in the clubhouse from all the guys. That's coming back from that hole we're in. That's really tough to do, and obviously there's still work to be done. But I think that that shows a lot of heart and a lot of character from everybody in the clubhouse. So it's been awesome so far.
How'd you get the nickname Polar Bear, Pete Alonso? How'd you get that nickname?
Todd Frazier. Todd Frazier.
That's this year. That's not a lifetime thing. That's a this year thing.
No, yeah. So in college I was Pistol Pete. High school I was Sweet Pete. And then this year, Todd Frazier, spring training, he's like, you look like. First, you call me Paul after Paul Bunyan.
Okay.
Because he's like, you look like a lumberjack or whatever, and then he's just like, and then he came up with Polar Bear. He's like, oh, you look more like a big damn polar bear than anything. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. That's a cool nickname. Yeah, and then it stuck.
And it certainly has suited you. Do you feel the hopes and wishes and prayers of every Met fan on every four corner of this earth in you, Pete? Do you feel that?
The way that the fans have responded and welcomed me, it's just been, it's been so awesome. It's been like how well I've been received is just extremely special to me. The way that the city, it's not just the fans, it's like this entire city has just kind of welcomed me with open arms, and I'm just so appreciative of that. And that's what, this is what I've dreamt of my entire life, and this is what I've worked for my entire life. And for it to kind of pan out, it's been nuts, because that justifies the hard work and sacrifice that I've pretty much, not just me, but my family and everyone, a lot of people in my life has made. So this is, it's been all worth it, and it just feels so good. And I'm forever thankful for all the fans and the support I've had throughout New York too. So it's just been so amazing. I'm just so gracious and grateful for it.
And that includes the first fan, Jerry, right? Seinfeld. He loves you, man. Seinfeld.
Yeah, it's nuts. My dad was obviously a huge Seinfeld fan. I feel like any kid that grew up in that was a '90s baby, their parents were huge Seinfeld fans. So it was nuts, because it's like I grew. My dad made me watch some Seinfeld, and it's like wow, a guy that my dad made me watch as a kid, that was a huge he's a huge mogul, not just in the comedy world, but in New York, and world-renowned Jerry Seinfeld is a fan of Pete Alonso. That's like, what? It's so weird. It's weird to me to think about. It's like I just feel like I'm I mean, I know when I say this, like, people kind of scratch their head, but I still feel like a kid. I know I'm 24, but I mean, I still feel like a big kid.
Well, Pete, it's real and it's spectacular. There's no question about that. It is real and spectacular when it comes to Jerry. Do you have a favorite Seinfeld episode?
Yeah, the one where I think George Costanza, he's working for the Yankees, and then I think him and Bernie Williams and Derek Jeter are on the field, and George is absolute whacking balls, and he's just like, yeah, it's all about angles, geometry, and a little bit of calculus. It's like X, Y, and he's explaining some formula, and he's whacking balls all over the yard, and they're just like, who is this guy? And then he's hitting missiles everywhere.
Well, I think it's
teaching them.
I think it's because he was abstaining at the time, Pete. That's that episode. Well, at least you haven't had anybody tell you to go hit 3 home runs in a game or something like that, right? Not that was a great Paul O'Neill episode. Was that one with Kramer?
Yeah, that was funny.
Hey, man.
And also, it's kind of funny when Elaine was like dating Keith Hernandez.
Please! Now that is one of the all-time great episodes with Keith and Jerry getting jealous, and then that's the second spitter. That would also included Roger McDowell of Mets fame as well, back in the day.
Yeah, man. And also, I forget Kramer. He bought. There's this other episode where like Kramer bought like this industrial. He was pissed off at a shower head, and he got this industrial like shower head used to shower elephants on the black market somehow.
It knocks him over.
I don't know.
It knocks him over.
Yeah.
How about this? We're talking Seinfeld with Pete Alonso right now.
The episodes are 25 years old. They're older than you, Pete.
Man, I'm excited for you, Pete. My brother's a diehard Met fan. We got our social media czar, as we like to call him, TJ Jefferson, big time Met fan. There's tons of them out in Los Angeles, and you've really ignited them, excited them, and good luck against the Cubs. It's a game obviously you guys need to have, and we'll chat soon.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. No, thank you guys so much for having me on. I really enjoyed my time on here, so thank you.
You got it, Pete. Thanks again. We'll chat soon. We will definitely chat soon. That's Pete Alonso, Pete_Alonso20 on Twitter, and then his old nickname at Pistol_Pete20.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live, or download the Rich Eisen Show app.